On this week's show, we look at today's RV refrigerators and the technology that enables them to operate anywhere, especially if you're looking at getting off the grid, so to speak. Then we check out a new line of campers designed specifically for flatbed trucks. These stories and more on this week's Rollin On TV. Closed and Spanish captioning, where available, is sponsored by Jayco. At Jayco, we've been making family dreams come true since 1968. Today's RV kitchens have come a long way from just that 2-burner stove and old home-style refrigerator, as Yvonne shows us.
We've seen a number of other beautiful, smaller yet functional RV kitchens, but this one is absolutely fantastic. We're in a Jayco Eagle, and as you can see, it's got a gorgeous island kitchen, but there's so much more to it. We'll start out with this really large, very functional pantry. It's got a number of shelves. The shelves are adjustable. You can also leave a whole big area underneath to put anything that is larger that won't fit in a drawer. I love the glass. It makes it look gorgeous. And by the way, the darker wood makes it look a little bit more luxurious. I think you would agree. Lots of drawers, lots of cupboard space. Now, when you take a look at the island kitchen, you can see that there is plenty of countertop for you to put your food stuff on as you're preparing. We've also got a fantastic double sink here. Plenty to wash dishes, wash your vegetables, get everything under control. And if you don't want to do your dishes, you can just set them in the sink, put the beautiful sink covers on them, and you're good to go. Your guests don't have to know you've got dishes underneath here. We've got a gorgeous stovetop. This is a 3-burner stovetop. It's a Wedgwood, and we've also got an oven that you can bake in. You can cook in. It makes fantastic pizza, by the way. Certainly a lovely light, an event cover. We've got a microwave that does everything that you could need it to do. Wonderful. And we've also got an amazing 4-door Norcold refrigerator. Now, I've got a Norcold at home, and it is absolutely wonderful. It's been great for us. Hey, Andy! Andy from Norcold is here. Hi!
How you doing?
Wow, well, I'm doing great, and I was just singing the praises of my Norcold refrigerator and saying what a sensation this 4-door is. So let's hear about it. It's something else again.
Yeah, as you said, it's a 4-door refrigerator. It's really great for extra space. This is 12 cubic feet. It has the freezer up top here.
Sweet.
4 doors, lots of storage space. You know, Norcold really prides itself on offering the largest capacity RV refrigerators, also the coldest refrigerators, and we also design and engineer these refrigerators to have the lightest weight possible without sacrificing any of the space or with any of the cold performance.
Is it still true that the coldest spot in the refrigerator or freezer is this back left corner?
That's correct.
That's
yes.
where to put your ice cream.
Yes.
Or now, I also just noticed that you've got 4 ice cube trays, which is perfect when you have people over for margaritas or cocktails or smoothies. But when you're traveling, not so easy. But you've got this nifty little tab here. Your ice cube trays slip right in there, and they don't move around as you roll down the road.
Yeah, it's pretty handy. They hold the ice cube trays in place for when you're doing your partying. Do you do some partying, Yvonne?
Oh no, never.
So the freezer has a lot of space. You can see here in the fresh food section that it's wide open left to right. So if you have a large submarine sandwich, large containers, they'll fit beautifully in there.
So this is interesting because in mine we've got 1 piece of glass across, and then we've got the 2 crisper drawers.
Yep.
But this has got 3 drawers, and one of them is open. What's that all about?
One of these is open just so it provides you easy access. If you want to store something that you're going to be grabbing for more frequently, let's say some grapes or some fruit that you're going to be reaching in for more frequently, it just makes it a little bit easier to access that type of food.
I love the divider here in it as well. So I think that would also be great for deli meat or cheese or something like that.
That's right.
And these are also adjustable.
Correct.
Terrific. So whatever you need, if you've got a tall jar of mayonnaise or ketchup or something like that, right in.
That's right.
Now, if memory serves me right, the controls on this is called some funny name. What is that?
Well, we're very proud of the fact that we offer eye-level controls.
Okay, that's it.
In some other competitive products, it's very hard to reach the controls or view the controls. With Norcold, we make sure that all of our controls are right at eye level in the RV, so that if you need to monitor things or adjust your temperature, you can do that right from the outside at eye level.
And this is very similar to the Norcold that I have at home, and really simple to use, to see what the temperature is, make it colder, make it warmer.
One thing that we're also very proud of is the fact that we're made right here in America. So we're in Ohio. The refrigerators are made there right in Ohio, and we'd love to have you come out and see how the refrigerators are made someday.
Sydney, Ohio?
Correct.
We're going to go there next.
All right.
Love it. Thank you so much for showing us this and for a fabulous product.
Thank you.
Great.
Simply put, Thetford's AquaChem has outsold all its competitors combined because it's the strongest holding tank deodorant available. It provides the strongest odor control around the clock in all temperatures and conditions. It quickly liquefies waste and tissue and is 100% biodegradable. AquaChem, the industry standard for 50 years. For more information, visit Thetford.com. AquaChem, another great product from Thetford.
Is it now the perfect time to turn your old pop-up tent trailer from looking like this to looking like this? Treat yourself and your family to a bug-free camping season with a new tent canvas from Canvas Replacements. To learn more or to order a new canvas, visit canvasreplacements.com or call 800-232-2079. RV refrigerators have come a long ways over the years, as is evident if you ever check out some older RV kitchens. Today's modern RV refrigerators, besides being beautiful, can run on multiple power sources, which allows RVers the freedom to be unplugged. Before we see what goes into building Norcold's gas absorption refrigerators, let's head to class with Jim Shaw, Norcold's plant manager, and learn how the system actually works.
This is the cooling unit that we make here in the plant. This is one of 18 different models that we make, and each one of the units that we make may be varying in size, but they're going to have the same components. They're going to have an absorber, they're going to have a chamber, they're going to have a boiler, they're going to have an evaporator, and they're going to have a condenser with lower liquid ammonia tubes and interconnect tubes that are going to tie the system together. And you can see that there are angles built into the system that will allow it to flow with gravity. This is the area that we're going to heat up to about 380 degrees. And as we heat that up, we're going to get ammonia vapor that's going to travel up into the boiler and into the condenser. At the condenser, we're going to turn into 100% ammonia vapor, liquid, and we're going to travel back down the lower liquid ammonia tube up into the evaporator, where we're going to see our cooling temperatures. And then as we see, we're going to travel back down into the evaporator and back down into the chamber, ready to be boiled off again. Again, no pumps. You're not going to hear anything in your RV that's going to be turning off and on. This is a very robust system, and this is a system that can be used off-grid. We're not going to be using any generators or anything like that. We're just going to be, we can use gas with propane, battery, or an outlet. So, and that's the advantages of the This is the gas absorption cooling unit as you would actually see it assembled into a refrigerator. This is the area that is heating up. This is the condenser, the boiler. The evaporator is hidden because it's fully insulated. And this is the absorber, and this is the chamber. Again, we're going to heat up to 380 degrees, move up and vaporize into ammonia, and travel back down into the lower liquid ammonia tubes that you don't see because it's insulated completely here, and back down into the absorber, back to the chamber.
Okay, now that we know how the system works, it's time to head out to the factory floor. The whole operation starts here, where material comes in and is stored in the humidity control storeroom. In here, you'll find coiled stock for making fins, along with various lengths and diameters of tubing material. The room is kept at 85 degrees with 30% humidity, which helps maintain shelf life and the cleanliness of the material. By the way, all this material comes from right here in Ohio. One of the first steps is taking coil stock and punching out the condenser fins on this huge press. Next, they're placed in a jig where a U-shaped tube is inserted. All the interconnect tubes are welded in place and we're ready for the next step. Remember Jim mentioned that some tubes actually have an inner tube? You know, a tube within a tube? Well, this special press actually puts dimples on the hidden inner tube, which helps in the performance of the evaporator. In this department, the dimpled inner tube gets inserted into the outer tube and welded together. With the tubes welded in place, it's on to one of the many CNC bending machines. After a few other operations, the sub-assemblies arrive at the welding department, where all the components get welded together into one closed unit. Now, the welded units go into the special room that we're not allowed to show or talk about, but we can say what happens in here makes a big difference in the quality and longevity of Norcold's refrigerators.
I'd really appreciate that.
Next, each unit goes into a special safety chamber where it's pressurized with 1,000 psi. The pressurized units are submerged in a water bath and physically checked for leaks. Once each unit passes the test, it's ready to head to the refrigerator assembly area. Coming up, we'll see how they make the inner and outer liners of the refrigerators. But first, a word from our sponsor. When you have a Truma AquaGo instant hot water system, you can expect to make a lot of new friends. Be sure and visit the new RollingOnTV.com, where you'll find weekly shows along with a selection of videos, stories, information, and the latest RV news. Our lifestyle pages are full of great stories about places to go, things to do, and what's new, written by our viewers and RV writers from around the country. And if you're into great food and drinks, then visit our food and beverage pages where we'll get your taste buds up and ready for an Epicurean adventure. All this and more on the new RollingOnTV.com. Now that the refrigeration units are made, it's time to make the inner liners, and that starts at this vacuum forming machine. Once the info is programmed into the machine, the operator lays a flat sheet of plastic onto a jig. The jig rotates under a mold, and the heated plastic, through a vacuum process, is forced into the mold and the piece is formed. Once set, the jig rotates around again and the piece is removed, stacked, and ready for the next step. Norcold has various vacuum forming machines going at the same time, forming all the pieces for each refrigerator model and size. Here, an inner liner is formed. Once the vacuum formed parts leave the mold department, they head to a CNC machine where they're trimmed and all the holes drilled by a couple of remote control arms. By the way, all those scrap pieces and plastic sawdust are collected and recycled. And how many liners do you think they make in a day? Well, what you see here is only about a day's worth of inventory. Once the inner and outer liners are put together, the next step is insulation. This machine is filling the doors with foam. Once that's done, the frame is installed, the door is inspected to ensure even distribution of foam, and it's off to the assembly line. Now we're ready for assembly, and that starts with the actual frame and breaker assembly being placed on a jig. Next, hot glue is applied to seal the frame and liners together. The liner is put in place, and you'll notice that all the wiring harnesses are already installed. Now, the outer wrapper is put on, which is the outside that the consumer sees, and then it's off to the foaming department. The whole unit is now put in a foaming cabinet where the insulation is installed between the outer wrapper and the inner liner. Once that's done, it's off to final assembly. We'll finish up our tour with the final assembly right after this short break. At Norcold, we realize that some of your favorite RV destinations are off the grid. And Norcold refrigerators are uniquely designed with that RV experience in mind. We call it Freedom Unplugged. To learn more about our Norcold RV refrigerator line or to find a dealer near you, visit our website at norcold.com. At Jayco, we're a lot more than just an RV manufacturer. We're all about family, and we've been making family dreams come true since 1968. To see our complete product line and find your nearest Jayco dealer, visit us online at jayco.com or just log on to rollinontv.com. Never run out of propane again. With Level Check, there's no more guesswork. Just run the gauge over the tank, and when the light turns from red to green, you'll know exactly how much propane you have left. It's that simple. Level Check, another great product from Truma. For more information, visit levelcheck.com.
Simply put, Thetford's AquaChem has outsold all its competitors combined because it's the strongest holding tank deodorant available. It provides the strongest odor control around the clock in all temperatures and conditions. It quickly liquefies waste and tissue and is 100% biodegradable. AquaChem, the industry standard for 50 years. For more information, visit thetford.com. AquaChem, another great product from Thetford.
Welcome back. Now we'll follow the final assembly of our Norcold refrigerators. Here, the whole cabinet unit is now placed horizontally on the assembly line, where some of the inside components and hardware gets installed. This operator, working together with one on the backside, is attaching the actual refrigeration units to the cabinet. Next, all the trim is put on, door hinges installed, and the controls are attached. As we get close to the end, the shelves are put in and secured in place, and the doors get installed. Once that's done, the unit gets inverted back upright and the door shelves are installed. Next, all the information stickers are put on, and the one we like best is the one that lets the world know that this Norcold refrigerator was made in the USA. At the same time, another worker is doing all the final checks on the backside of the unit, making sure that there are no gas leaks and that all the connections are done. Simultaneously, up front, The serial number of every unit is scanned into the computer along with the final test readings. And once that's done, it's off to the warehouse and delivery to another happy Norcold customer. At Jayco, we're a lot more than just an RV manufacturer. We're all about family, and we've been making family dreams come true since 1968. To see our complete product line and find your nearest Jayco dealer, visit us online at jayco.com or just log on to rollinontv.com. Never run out of propane again. With Level Check, there's no more guesswork. Just run the gauge over the tank, and when the light turns from red to green, you'll know exactly how much propane you have left. It's that simple. Level Check, another great product from Truma. For more information, visit levelcheck.com.
Our friends at 4-Wheel Pop-Up Campers dropped a few hints about an exciting new product they had in the works. So we stopped by the factory to nose around a bit and see what we could dig up. After enjoying some time and maybe dreaming a little bit in the company's beautiful new showroom at its Woodland, California location, we sat down with the man to learn more about the new product.
4-Wheel Campers has been making flatbed campers for a number of years for export markets. Now, we've sent them to Australia, we've sent them to Europe, but we had a need in America for the flatbed camper as well as a result of requests from customers and potential customers. Why don't you make a flatbed camper? So we did, simple as that. Now, what we had to do with this is we had to figure out a way to work with a different expanse of floor to work with. So what we did was we worked with one of our dealers who brought in an Australian flatbed, worked on the dimensions, and then figured out, well, now that we've got this, how can we put all the usual things that we put in a camper into the flatbed? A little bit of a challenge, but it worked out very well. So basically what we did was, instead of using a side dinette or a front dinette, we actually worked on a rear dinette at the back of the camper with a side door, and then we worked all the other appliances in around in the front of the camper so that we actually have a better weight distribution, more weight in the front, lower down, and less weight in the back where the seating is. Works out perfectly. We've built for the Toyota Tacoma and these other mid-sized trucks, but we're also designing, and in fact, we're actually building a new full-size long bed flatbed camper for Australia. It's coming up on the line very soon. The flatbed camper will be available domestically, meaning in North America. We're actually taking orders for them now. And if you have a request, we'll certainly work with you on it and have the campers available for most any kind of a truck stateside. When I say most any kind of a truck, we're talking about the newer mid-sized trucks like the Toyota Tacoma, the Nissan Frontier, the Dodge Dakota, and of course we're building for the full-size trucks as well. The long bed and the short bed, Ford F-150s, Silverados, 1500s, the Dodge 1500s, and so on. Remember, it's wise to recall here that you don't have to have a big truck for a four-wheel camper. Yes, we build for the mid-sized trucks, and yes, we build for the half-tons. Not just the 3/4 and the 1-tons, but most definitely the half-tons and smaller. Regarding how the camper is actually built, we haven't added exterior storage in this particular iteration, this particular design. What we have done is we've relocated the appliances and the cabinetry so that you end up with more storage inside. So you have more storage underneath the seats especially, and you also have quite a fair amount of storage in the kitchen cabinetry as well as in the front of the camper as well.
Thanks, Tom. The new flatbed camper looks like an interesting alternative for RVers with flatbed trucks. For more information, log on to our website at rollinontv.com.
We hope you enjoyed this week's show, and for more information on anything you've seen on the show, Along with additional videos and stories, visit our website at rollinontv.com. Don't forget to visit our store where you'll find some of the great products featured on our show. As usual, this has been another fun production. For the latest up-to-the-minute RV news, visit our media partners at rvbusiness.com.